Once upon a dragon. Stranger safety for kids and dragons. One cool autumn day at the end of last week, my good friend the dragon walked up from the creek. We wanted to go to the park by the bay, so I asked Mom and Dad if that was okay. Mom said, "Great idea!" And grabbing the wagon, we walked down the street, Mom, me, and the dragon. My friend brought his bear and a storybook, too. With the swings and the slide, we'd have plenty to do. We swung high on the swings till our feet touched the sun, then jumped to the ground and started to run. A dragon-sized, here and there, heart-stopping race, up, down, and around, and all over the place. Up the ladder we flew, then we hopped on the slide for a hair-raising, thumb-bumping, jumbled-up ride. Holding on tight, round curve and round bend, we were finally tossed in a pile at the end. I laughed as I picked myself up off the ground. Then I stopped. Where were we? I looked all around. The dragon was dressed in a red cloak and hood. Behind him I spotted a wolf in the wood. "Oh, dragon," I said. "Oh, dragon, look, look! I think that we've landed inside of your book." "Looks like chapter 1, I told my green friend. "Stay with me, and we'll take this path to the book's end." But that wolf, coming close, said, "It's faster this way," and pointed to where the deep, dark forest lay. With his basket, the dragon stepped off of the trail, like Little Red Riding Hood does in the storybook tale. "Stop, dragon!" I yelled. "That way's lonely and dark. It's not a safe way to get back to the park. Besides, please remember, that wolf is a stranger. What he says to do could put us in danger." We followed the path till we reached chapter 2, where a gingerbread house came into view, dripping with gumdrops and striped candy canes, jelly beans, jujubes, and glazed sugar panes. In the doorway, up licorice steps, calling us in, stood a hunchbacked old woman, wrinkled and thin. "Come in, little dearies," she crooned. "Take a bite. Fill up your pockets. Eat all that you'd like." Now dragons love candy, I'm sure you all know, so I grabbed his tail tight and I wouldn't let go. I dug in my heels as he walked to her stair. "Dragon," I groaned, "we should not go in there." With a last longing look, he turned back to me, and we leaped through the pages into chapter 3. Seven pairs of long underwear hung on the line, and 7 small dishes were set out to dine. And Dragon, dear Dragon, the silliest sight, was scrubbing the floor, dressed up as Snow White. I was laughing so hard I missed hearing the knock, and couldn't stop Dragon, who undid the lock. Before I could pick myself up from the floor, that dragon, who shouldn't have, opened the door. There stood the queen, in an old woman's clothes, holding out a big apple as red as a rose. "Dragon!" I hollered with all of my might. and stopped him before he could take his first bite. "You don't know if it's safe. It could make you quite sick. Don't fall for that evil queen's horrible trick." Then, mirror, mirror on the wall, could a gingerbread dragon be fairest of all? "Run, dragon, run!" I laughed, "fast as you can!" And off through the tail the two of us ran. We stopped at the river, 'cause cookies can't swim. They get soggy as soon as they start to get in. A fox offered help. He said, "I'll keep you dry. Sit here on my back while I swim. Don't be shy." Now I couldn't remember how this story went, and whether that fox really said what he meant. So I shook my head, "No." And the dragon did too, but the fox kept insisting it's what we should do. He grinned, licked his lips, and said, "Kids, it's okay. You can't swim across, so there's no other way." My good friend the dragon, he started to go. He climbed on the fox, but I yelled, "No, no, no!" Something about this just didn't feel right, so I pulled Dragon back with all of my might. With no time to spare, we escaped to Chapter 4 and joined Prince Charming's guests on the grand ballroom floor. When the clock chimed at 12, we knew what to do. We ran down the steps where we both lost a shoe. A carriage pulled up and then drove alongside. "Come on, get in," called a voice from inside. "The 3 little pigs have been captured, it's true. They need help right away, so they sent for you two." "You can huff, you can puff," I cried. "We won't get in, not by the hair of my tinny chin chin." "Come on, dragon, run! Let's get away!" We turned and ran quickly the opposite way. Through chapters 6, 7, 8, and then 9, where we found the 3 pigs who were doing just fine. We passed Sleeping Beauty, the Little Red Hen, Tom Thumb, and then Goldilocks in chapter 10. I'm not sure how long our adventuring took, but we finally arrived at the end of the book. "Now what?" I asked. Feeling puzzled, I frowned. "We need to find help," I sighed, looking around. I had no sooner spoken when, quick as you please, a lovely bright light floated down on the breeze. The blue fairy godmother came from afar. I could tell it was her by the wand with the star. "Dragon, look there! I think she might know." So we asked that safe stranger which way we should go. "I know whom I'd ask in a fairy tale book." She winked and gave Dragon an all-knowing look. "Dragon!" I cheered. "It's all up to you." He nodded his head, 'cause he knew what to do. My fairy tale friend took a deep breath and then, with one fiery blast, blew a hole in the end. And there we were, piled on the ground by the slide. "Dragon, we made it! We're back home!" I cried. My mom and I hugged. We told her the tale of adventure we had on the storybook trail. Hand in hand, we walked home, Mom, me, and my friend, to live safe ever after, and that is the end. Don't forget to subscribe.